And I remember the first time I painted my son in his pajamas. He was crawling away from me and just learned how to crawl, and his little foot got stuck in his pajamas, and I painted it and recreated it, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I really felt God kind of worked through me and was like, oh, this is awesome. I could really do this. I never in a million years thought it would like speak to anybody else, but I knew that it spoke to me and I enjoyed it. So I just kind of had it as an outlet while I raised kids and was at home. But in my art, I think that it is through the color and the drips. They have a certain organic quality that is more alive to me. And I just use the drips to kind of bring life to the subject matter. Every once in a while I'll have a random drip that'll fall and I'll be like, should I take that off? And then I'll leave it, and it's funny, people at the flip side of it will be like, I love that one lone drip. Like, what is that about? But it was because that's just the way it worked, and life is messy and you can't really control everything. It was 8 years ago that I lost my first husband to suicide, and it was not on anybody's radar. My first thought was, how the hell am I going to do this? I have 3 boys and no father figure for them. It was just devastating, and it still is devastating. I don't know you ever wrap your mind around it. And it has affected so much in a negative way, but also a positive way. Because if I had never looked at it fully, I don't think I would have created a lot of the stuff I've done. So it still is very much, I'm not healed, but I know that God is working in that pain. And I feel like it shows a lot in my paintings that are a little bit more introspective. Some of my paintings are just pure joy, which is there too, because I have met a man that I do know is like who he says he is through and through. I see it as a healing tool for me, and then it's been amazing to see it as a healing tool for others. So I think that it's important to, if it is a hard subject matter and you are trying to do it in a visual way, to have something also that shows the light, because it's not all dark. It won't ever be all dark. I think that's my bottom line, is I would love to be known as a joy dripper and to be just somebody that helps people connect to that part of life.
Hi, this
Hello.
is Nate Macy with another Equus Film Festival web chat, and I'm here with Morgan Coven Herndon. Welcome, Morgan.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good.
Morgan, your festival entry is the illustration of fellow Arkansan and author Nancy Pruitt's children's book, Winston the Pony Goes to a Party.
Yeah. Isn't it precious? It's
Yes, I love the cover, which of course is your illustration.
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about the project?
Well, sure. I mean, it's always been on my bucket list to illustrate a children's book. So Nancy actually reached out to me. She followed me on Instagram and said, I love your work. Would you ever be interested in doing this? She was a new author. I had never done it. So we were, okay, let's learn together. So it was a lot of fun. She's so laid back and easy to work with, because I didn't know how I would feel doing someone else's story. Because normally when I create art, it's me doing what so it was a little challenging, but it worked out so great. And she was very easy to work with. So we had a great time doing it. It's a book about, it's true story based on a rescue pony. And so it is precious. They have a party for a girl that's going back in the hospital for an extended stay. It's not doing well. And it's just a sweet, sweet story about empathy and, celebrating and making sure people know we care.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
You have dubbed yourself the Joy Dripper, which reflects a unique style. What is a drip artist, and how does it add to your art?
Well, I feel like I've always done art, like how you would think any kid, I'd be drawing or painting so I lost my first husband to suicide and had 3 young boys to raise. And so I had gotten some paint to recover some furniture to sell. And I had some left over, and I said, well, what can I do with it? So I started dripping on top of a painting that I had done with brushwork, and it kind of morphed into, oh, this could interact with the 2D portion, and it's almost like a little puffy edge because it's actually house paint. So it's latex, and I drip it from above from a palette knife, and then kind of watch to see what it does, because it does its own thing pretty much. But it's always usually like if there's a drip that I'm like, oh no, I leave it there, and that's like somebody's favorite part of the whole painting. And so I really enjoy that part of it, because it can be messy, and like life, it just has all the things going on. So I've gotten hooked. Every time I see anything, I'm thinking, how could I drip that? You know, usually the drips represent something that is either an emotion or a movement or something that you couldn't necessarily see with your bare eyes, but you feel. So it kind of pulls you into a moment, which I love. So
That's amazing.
yeah.
And I did watch your video.
Oh, good, good.
It was just so well done, and really gave you a good summary of who you are personally and who you are as an artist.
Yes, I agree. The guy I worked with on that was amazing. Because it's a touchy thing, and he did so good. And I don't like being in front of the camera, as we've talked. So yes, it was a little bit of a stretch, like this is for me, but it's a good stretch. It's good to share your story, and people love knowing the background of any kind of art. I think that's an important part. So
where can folks contact you to learn more about your work?
yeah, they can go to my website, and it has all the different, like, they can follow me on Facebook or Instagram, but it has those links there. So, or email sign up is fine. It's mchartwork.com.
Great.
Yes.
Any last words for our festival audience?
I'm just excited to be there. This is such an honor. So I'm excited to hear all the things and see all the other artists. And so just thank you for including me.
Well, thank you for being here. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you. It was lovely to meet you.
Thank you.